Greetings, fellow Sicilians, and welcome back to Medieval 2 Total War. And I've got an announcement to make. Because I've noticed that like the last couple episodes of this series have been lengthier than usual, and as a result the file size got pretty big, especially since those were battles. And I found that either I need to stick with the original format, where I do a battle, where I do like the campaign and then, do the battles as like separate videos. Or what I need to do is actually just decrease the pace at which I play the game, so like lower the ratio of episodes compared to like my EU4 content and potentially another series by the time that this video gets released. So I apologize if you've been looking forward to constant uploads like this. My internet speed just cannot do it, and I apologize for that. However, the series will go on, and I will play this game to completion. I plan on playing another series after it, too, of this game, just because I love this game so much. Unless the viewer count drops to, like, where only, 100 people are watching each episode, which would really suck. Anyway, announcements. We've just taken the Castle of Corinth, and we're hoping to begin upgrading it, so that our Norman knights can kind of recover here. The Byzantines have been stripped of their castle, which would be like their primary method of, reinforcing their troops. From there, we can start building some mailed knights and heavy cavalry otherwise to, start defeating the rest of their armies. As a result, I don't think there's much to do this turn. We do have a lot of things building. We could try to build something in Venice, though I don't think it's really necessary. One thing we could do with our money is, somebody recommended this, and I think it's a good idea. I apologize for not, getting, the, player feedback for a while. However, I did, see something that somebody came up with, and that was a pretty good idea. And it's to build a merchant to come trade down here in Africa, and I think that's a pretty good idea. Looks like the Moors do own this vast expanse of desert here in the Sahara. Excuse me. Where should we? Trying to think of where we might build a merchant, and I think we build one out of Venice, and we go try to find some places nearby. So let's do that. And we could probably build a priest as well if we had a church in one of these towns.
My lord, you should face trial for heresy.
Right. Soon that Orthodox priest is going to die, so that means our land is going to convert quicker, which is going to be helpful because that's really hurting public order. Ooh, despicable treachery. Bernardo Setani. Oh, he was our, either our diplomat or our spy. I think he was our spy. Yeah.
Your Majesty?
Looks like we do have a princess here in Palermo, but I don't really know where we take her, to be honest with you.
March.
We could go talk to the Milanese, but it would take her forever to get up there. I don't know.
Hello, Your
Let's just
Highness.
go. Let's go on an adventure.
Royalty means its rest, my lord.
I think she's just lazy, if we're being 100% honest. Alright, let's start building a fortress here in Corinth so that we can build, reinforce and build new Norman knights. Now, I think we can retrain some of these troops. We do have a drill square, which is going to allow us to not only get sergeant spearmen, but armored sergeants as well. Now, somebody mentioned a couple episodes ago as well that we should definitely loot every village that we attack, but the problem is when you kill the population of a place, if we had killed the population here in Corinth, we wouldn't have been able to upgrade it to a fortress. And more to the point, the more people you have in a city, the better you can tax it. So take Venice for example. We could have looted it for 5,000 florins or something like that. But that wouldn't have paid itself off very well 5 turns later because the population, due to a lack of people to actually tax, would have been, horrific. Now, I think there are bandits somewhere in the province of Venice because there's a devastation modifier in this town. So, probably somewhere out there. There's something going on. We are the most advanced faction, but the Holy Roman Empire is the strongest faction. Most advanced meaning we have the most things being produced at the same time. We are the best in production and population. Not the best in finances, unfortunately, but we'll get there. Now let's keep upgrading Durazzo here. Let's see, it will upgrade again at 2,000 population. It is currently growing at 5% at the moment. which is awesome. We're actually going to build a church just to help convert the province more, be able to train priests, and then after that we'll probably go for that fairground to, get some merchants out of it and send them over here to trade in these Greek provinces. Looks like Hungary's doing something. What's he up to?
Greetings.
They offer trade rights. Very well.
Goodbye.
We have some very chivalrous men in our realm. We'll hire this guy. He's 3 command. It's decent enough. Better than some I've seen. The Holy Roman Empire has blockaded us. So it comes to war. Very well. Let's build up the garrison in Venice. I don't really know what else to do on that one. Florence is pretty upset. Let's train some Italian spear militia. Help garrison the town. This is always the dumbest thing, is when the AI declares war just by blockading you.
Admiring the enemy.
Alright, we have 5 galleys to their 2 dromons, so let's just sink those.
Our fleet is victorious.
Looks like we took no damage in that battle either, so that's pretty hilarious. Now we've got a couple of Norman knights here in Palermo, and those could be instrumental in attacking Bologna now that we're at war with the Holy Roman Empire. The Pope is not too happy with us, considering that we didn't join the Crusade, but then again, nobody joined the Crusade, so...
Yes.
How does he feel about the Holy Roman Empire? He feels no ill will towards them. However, he really doesn't like Hungary. He's actually excommunicated the Hungarians for some reason. We're not really sure why. But let's see. So, without... these Norman knights are still good for battle. These dismounted Norman knights need to recover. Apart from that, we have a really depleted unit. We have 2 really depleted units of Sergeant Spearmen. Only one of which we can reinforce this turn. I think I will train a unit of armored sergeants. And now that I think about it, let's build a mounted sergeants regiment as well. And with that, we should have 2 units of light cavalry, 1 heavy cavalry, a decent amount of infantry, and a decent amount of archers that we could go take on an actual a war band of sorts to go and defeat the enemy. Now, as for these heavy troops, I'm really torn on what to do with them.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
However, I think I'm definitely going to attack the Holy Romans. I would love to get some kind of, good terms with the Milanese. But I doubt we'll be able to pull anything off. In fact, I'm pretty sure they hate us. That being said, I'm sure we could work something out if we really put our minds to it. Cagliari here. I want to build a road, but at the same time I don't, because it doesn't really go anywhere. A port might not be a bad idea, but it's a castle, you know. A lot of our holdings are castles as well. Actually, half of them are. So taking Bologna would be a pretty big get for us. So I think we are gonna gather these units here, put them on the boats, and we're gonna try to get them up to Florence, I think. Now that being said, I would like to build a couple more units, and
Yes, my lord.
let's see. Let's look at the army composition we would have if we were to attack. So we could grab a couple of these Italian spear militia to actually fight on the front lines in Bologna, which would be pretty good. And these mailed knights are pretty depleted. These mounted sergeants are fit for combat, but also pretty depleted. These peasant archers are fine. So it looks like really our biggest issue would be a lack of infantry. So let's get these dismounted Norman knights, and we'll train 2 units of peasant archers as well to kind of fill that gap. And then next turn we'll send those units up north to go reinforce at Bologna. Besides, Bologna is Italian. Looks like a Polish cardinal was produced. We have worsened relations with the Holy Romans, even though we've done literally nothing to them. We can't afford to upgrade Durazzo this turn, but they are going at an incredible 5.5% per turn, which is pretty great. Somebody died. Not sure who, but might have been this Byzantine bishop, which is good, because now this province should start converting pretty quickly back to Catholicism. Alright, we have one more turn until the fortress is done upgrading here in Corinth, and due to that, I mean, we've got a pretty decent force here. The only downside is we wouldn't really have as many heavy cavalry as we would like. But if we wait a turn, we might be able to recruit some Norman knights. So I think we'll just have everyone stay put there. And we've got this small force here in Tripoli, and I think we could defeat this army with these troops. So let's just besiege them. We'll just siege for 5 turns. No reason to assault and spend troops that way. Alright, we've got this extra force here. And let's take them up to Florence.
Yes, my lord.
Hopefully we don't get sniped by some gigantic fleet somewhere.
We are no threat to your fleet, Sadiq.
Like this Moorish fleet, who has left us alone. That's good. He might be aggressive towards us, though, just because of the current situation. You know, with us being down there. Alright, in Durazzo, let's build a grain exchange, get some basic trade going, and mostly I just want to start training units from there. We'll build a better farm in Florence. In Venice, we will also build communal farming, even though most of these Italian provinces are just rich, which is, you know, great for us, obviously. The Holy Romans, attempting something. Looks like they might be trying to seduce our leader there. We'll see how well that works for them.
On behalf of the Reich, you had
She asks for a ceasefire. Do we accept? So, oh, good lord, she's got... There's little to separate this wretched creature from a bar wench. My goodness. So here's the thing. They're currently allied to the Byzantine Empire, Venice, Milan, and the Moors. So by attacking the Holy Romans, we would be pissing off basically all of these people. As a result of that, I think I will actually accept the proposal, even though I would like to take Bologna. I don't want to, like, necessarily, you know, piss off every single person so far. We get an amazing 4 command, 4 chivalry, 9 loyalty guy to marry our princess, which I'm pretty happy about. Alright, hostilities cease, and we now have a fortress here in Corinth. We can retrain our Norman knights, and we could train another unit of mounted Norman knights, which I think I will, because those units are pretty good. I think they're identical to feudal knights in terms of their performance, but they're just very cool and unique. So let's see. Let's get a garrison quarter here in Palermo so we can actually train units from it.
Yalla, my sultan wishes you dead.
There's a small band of rebels outside of Tunis, which is going to make them, you know, it's going to make it harder to grow there. I will build a port at Cagliari, I think. Although, ooh, we could build something in Naples instead, and I think we're going to save to get these large stone walls so that we can actually, you know, get better production out of these cities. Portuguese. Looks like they're either going for a treaty or they ask for an alliance, trade rights, and map information. Sure, I don't think we stand to lose anything by being allied to the Portuguese. I mean, they are allied with the Moors as well, which means that we might be able to improve our relations with the Moors as a result. The AI doesn't exactly make sense in this game the same way it does in EU4, which is fine, but, you know, still just making logical considerations here, and we'll see if those actually work out for us. Alright, in this army, we would have, if we were to pull out today, let's see, we'll retrain these 2 units. But we would be able to take a pretty large force, it looks like. So we'd have, looks like 2 units of peasant archers. It's not really great, is it? 3 units of spearmen, 1 heavy infantry, 2 heavy cavalry, 2 light cavalry. You know, actually, I think we could stand to build, like, let's build, like, 1 more Norman knight unit, just to kind of round out the army a little bit better. Get that little bit of extra heavy oomph that we might need to, like, break through a castle, depending on the troops. Alright, we're going to have these units go garrison Florence in case something bad happens. We should think about doing something like potentially attacking the Milanese. But we want the Pope to get his army out of the way first. That would be pretty nice. Alright, Durazzo has finished its fairground, I think. Which means you can train a merchant here, which I think we will do. And let's build better farms. Let's just keep growing our cities and making more money. I built a merchant here forever ago. Didn't send him anywhere to trade. This amber is worth 100 florins per turn, so
I must rest.
let's go see if we can get anything done with that. This guy is a skill 3 merchant. He's an aspiring trader possessing more ambition than experience or ability, which is okay for our purposes, I think, for the time being. Right, building things in Durazzo. Anywhere else we can build things? We could upgrade the archery range here in Corinth. It's not a bad idea, considering that this is likely going to be a pretty big base of operations for us, and the roads aren't really that important here, I don't think. So, yeah, let's go ahead and build the practice range. Palermo's still building. Naples, we wanted to upgrade Naples, but we haven't gotten around to it yet, unfortunately. But at any rate, I think this is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me, my fellow Sicilians, and I'll see you on the next one.